All right, what does it take to go from being a poor person to a rich person? And this is a subject that a lot of people don't want to talk about because it's controversial. But I want you to think about it. Why is it controversial to talk about going from being a poor person to a rich person? Well, I have theories on that. And I truly believe that society wants you to feel comfortable being poor. You might be saying, Robbie, that's far fetched, but I truly believe that. And the reason why I believe that is because I just want you to pay attention to the images that they're showing you on a consistent basis in the mainstream. The only time I get a whiff of the mainstream is when I'm in the gym. Now, in the gym, I was in the gym early one morning, which I'm usually in the gym, and I'm looking at the screens, and on one screen, they're talking about a shooting. On another screen, they're talking about natural disasters. On another screen, they're talking about economic downturn. On another screen, they're talking about more and more doom and gloom. And I got to thinking, man, how many of these people wake up every single day consuming images and messages of doom and gloom? How does that weigh on the human spirit? I was riding through my neighborhood one night, and one of our neighbors had their windows wide open, and there's this big screen TV in there. And on the big screen TV, this is about 11:30 at night, they're playing CNN. And I'm thinking, my God, how can anyone go to sleep after watching that message all night? You might as well watch a horror flick. Now, the world is set up in such a way that there has to be people at the top and people at the bottom. And a lot of the people at the top only feel like they're at the top because they know you're at the bottom. So the images that they promote are images of how much of a victim you are because you're at the bottom. So nobody wants to talk about, how it feels to go from being a poor person to a rich person. And this is because the world wants you to believe that it's almost impossible for you to become a rich person if you're a poor person. But I'm here to let you know, as someone that grew up as a poor person, I'm here to let you know that not only is it possible, but it is going to be something that you can control the outcome of. Now, this is not a message that you're going to hear in the mainstream a lot of the times, because again, they're trying to sell you fear. They're trying to sell you doom and gloom. They're trying to sell you lack and limitation. And they always talk about somebody like me as being a snake salesman or a snake oil salesman, because I'm simply trying to reveal to you what's possible for you. Now, with that said, in order to go from being a poor person to a rich person, there's some things that has to happen. And also there are some things you're going to go through when you start to make this happen. Number one, you have to make up your mind that you actually want to be a rich person. I know that sounds obvious, but it wasn't obvious to me when I was trying to change my mind. When I first understood that I had to choose to become a rich person, it dawned on me that I never made that choice up until that moment. Now, the moment I made that choice that I wanted to be a rich person, I came up against my own limiting beliefs. My own limiting beliefs that said money was the root of all evil, or that money was hard to come by, or that if you're black in America, it's hard to become successful. I realized that I had some issues I had to work on internally. And so I went to work every single day. I'm reading affirmations, I'm visualizing, I'm doing everything the books are telling me to do. Year goes by, I find myself happy, but if I was being honest, nothing materially changed in my reality. I was still broke. And then one day, all of a sudden, I got this idea to start something online. And I went to work because I believed in the idea. Now, I believe that if I wasn't saying my affirmations, I never would have had the thought of starting something online. But because I was saying those affirmations every day, my brain started to believe that something better was possible for me, which caused me to think outside of the box that I was thinking in before that moment. So, do affirmations work? Absolutely, but you have to keep on working them. Now, a lot of times when people are doing affirmations and they don't have any significant change in the beginning, they start to believe that the affirmations aren't working, and so they stop doing it. But if you stop doing it, you'll never get there. So I knew that internally, and I just kept on doing it. And all of a sudden, bit by bit, my mind started to change. I started to become aware of opportunities that in the past I probably would have perceived to be scams. I probably would have perceived those opportunities as something that was too good to be true, because we're all told that if it sounds too good to be true, then it's probably too good to be true. And I asked myself, what if I change my mindset to believe that if it sounds too bad to be bad, it's probably too bad to be bad. And if it sounds too good to be true, it could be true. Woo! Now, this automatically made me more susceptible to opportunities that I thought were opportunities that turned out not to be opportunities. However, I just kept trying. Not to mention, I started to think richer. And when I started to think richer, I noticed that the people I was hanging out with up until that moment started to let me know that they kind of had a problem with the new person I was becoming. I think they got accustomed to broke Robbie. And now that the real Robbie was coming to fruition, they didn't really know how to handle me. And so some people insinuated that I'd lost my mind, because here I am talking about mindset or inspiration or law of attraction, or that we can manifest the world of our dreams. And they didn't see me with anything tangible. But bit by bit, slowly by slowly, I started to change my life. And all of a sudden, the physical things in my reality started to change for the better. You're going to go through trials and tribulations as you're changing your mindset. You're going to even have to leave people behind. You might even have to leave the environment that you're currently in, because the environment that you're currently in may not support the new person that you are destined to become. I had to realize that. And I've seen a lot of good people that wanted to change their lives, but because they were afraid of leaving people behind, they stopped evolving. They stopped growing. I'm here to let you know that you cannot stop growing if you're going to change your reality for the better. And that when you're doing your affirmations, it's not that the affirmations are the end all be all. It's that the affirmations, every time you do those affirmations, that's equivalent to taking your brain to the gym, and your mind is going to become stronger and stronger the more you do those affirmations. The more you do those visualizations, the more your brain is going to communicate to your body that this image that you're imaging is possible. That's why it's important to do these mental techniques. Put yourself in the state of being that you need to be in order to take that inspired action. Now, when you're changing your world for the better, please understand that you're going to go through a moment where you don't feel like yourself. And because you don't feel like yourself, you're going to believe that you're doing something wrong. But you're not doing something wrong. The reason why you start feeling like you don't feel like yourself is because you are shifting from the old version of yourself to a new version of yourself that you haven't felt before. But this new version of you is you as well. Now, here's the trap. Because you feel like that, you're going to notice that people around you are going to feel like that as well. Oh, who do you think you are? You're changing. You think you're better than everybody. Well, you know what? I am changing. I do think I'm better than I used to be. But this ain't about you. This is about me. This is about you changing your reality for the better. And you have to stay the course. Keep working on yourself night and day. Keep reading the books. Keep doing the affirmations. It's not costing you anything. I see so many people demonize law of attraction or mindset, and they're like, oh, screw law of attraction. What is that harming you to believe in a better version of reality for yourself? These are people that I believe that at a subconscious level, they don't want you to become successful. And they dang sure don't want you to become as successful as they are, because the only reason they feel significant is because they have access to things that you don't have access to, and it makes them feel better than you. So you have to understand that even some successful people who are successful on paper are gonna also sometimes be your biggest haters, because that's what makes the elite sometimes feel elite, the fact that you are perceived to be beneath them. So you have to make up your mind, no matter who you are, no matter what you're going through, that you are going to stick with it, that you are going to persevere. Work on yourself every single day. Don't give up. Always know that you can master yourself. This is Robbie Cornelius encouraging you to master your mind and make money online. And the only place to contact me at is webassetgroup.com.